The Secretary for the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development made her way to eastern Kentucky today.
And Attorney General Daniel Cameron visited Whitley County today to discuss the fentanyl crisis.
Plus, a good soaking rain in the cards as we had later this week when we see sunshine return too, coming up as Mountain News at 6 starts now.
Dedicated to eastern and southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 6.
The Secretary for the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, Marcia Fudge, was in Breathitt County today. She met with local leaders in various eastern Kentucky counties about the nearly $300 million headed to the state to support disaster relief. I was there this morning and spoke with various county and community leaders about how they hope these funds are utilized. Kentucky is set to receive $298 million. Housing and Urban Development Secretary Marcia Fudge says the goal for this money is to help with long-term recovery solutions after July's flood.
Think about how you build for a future, and I'm just asking you to do that so that we don't come back again with the loss of life, with the loss of homes.
The money is aimed to assist with disaster recovery relief, and the question was raised today, how will that money be distributed? Despite the state government having the final say in who will receive the money, Fudge says the decision will ultimately be made based off of individual counties' needs and requests.
We've said all along that this is fundamentally a housing crisis. We know infrastructure got hammered, we know businesses got hurt, but at the end of the day, it's really the housing is the biggest unmet need. And so we're hopeful that a significant portion of the money will go to housing.
Aside from housing, infrastructure was at the top of many community leaders' list.
To develop new communities for educational opportunities and for individuals to get in a much safer community up out of the flood zone.
Aiming to develop the counties back and better than they were.
Infrastructure to support the development, whether it's economic development projects, to create new jobs, to bring people in, to help to build our population back up, because in the last two floods in 21 and 22, we have lost population.
A room full of leaders believing this funding is a step in the right direction to make a difference in multiple eastern Kentucky counties.
Fudge this morning said, gotta be the squeaky wheel. And I'm gonna, like I say, we're gonna squeak the wheel and get every penny we can.
The 20 counties eligible to receive funding from this grant are listed on our website. But once again, it is ultimately up to the state to decide which counties receive funding and how much of it they are rewarded.
More disaster relief efforts continue in Floyd County, where homes in Wayland and the surrounding communities were hit hard by the late July flooding. WYMT's Buddy Forbes has more about efforts to rebuild and restore from a resource rooted here at home.
A program all about repairing what was destroyed.
They come in here with a heart to serve.
Christian Appalachian Project's WorkFest is partnering with students during their spring break.
I just think CAF is so wonderful. It's just like, you know, you take all these people from ranging from no experience at all to really qualified and experienced, and you put them in groups.
Inviting those who want to help into spaces that need a little hope.
You slowly watch everything you've ever built towards wash away. And that's what a lot of people in this community kind of had to go through. So it's pretty sad.
Pushing to rebuild houses like the Cottle family home in Wayland.
There's nothing else that really they can do. But wait, the hope that they've lost, thinking, you know, they were never going to get back into their homes.
Coming together to build up families whose lives were left in shambles by the summer floods.
He has been helping his mom, who lives across the street, try to get back into her home, who was flooded as well.
Working to leave a mark on the region.
Walking away from that job knowing that those families got to spend their first night back into their homes after being out of it for so many months is bittersweet and heartwarming.
By hammering home the message of the mission.
You can see the hope being restored back into their lives.
In Floyd County, Buddy Forbes, WYMT Mountain News.
CAP is working on several projects with students this week, and organizers say without the volunteers, the outreach would not be possible.
Except for being a little cool, it's been an absolutely perfect day region-wide. We continue to see beautiful sunshine all through the region as we head into this evening. There was the view from Somerset. Here's the view from Buffalo Mountain as the sun sets out there this evening. We will continue to see mild air in places for the next little bit, at least milder than we've been. 50s in the Cumberland Valley, upper 40s as you head into portions of the Big Sandy. That's where they've been cooler at least a little bit today. All clear on pinpoint Doppler, and as we head into tonight, I think clouds drift in and out. It won't be completely clear, but it won't be completely cloudy either, as those lows dip below 30 in some spots, depending on the cloud cover you see out there. Now, I'll have the details on when a little bit more in the way of some cloud cover and shower activity really works back in a few minutes. Guys?
Thank you, Evan. The fentanyl crisis is something that continues to plague the Commonwealth. But today, numerous state and local officials, along with leaders in the fight against opioids, met in Corbin to discuss solutions. WYMT's Alyssa Williams was there.
Wednesday marked the third gathering for Kentucky Attorney General Daniel Cameron's Operation Fight Fentanyl Forum.
We didn't want to just bring in money to address this challenge, which we've done in the roughly to the tune of $842 million. But we also wanted to talk to people in counties just like Whitley County about the issues that you all are experiencing in this community.
Cameron has hosted forums in Kenton and Pendleton counties, but on Wednesday, he and other panelists met in Corbin, discussing how this issue pertains to the region.
As fatigued and as tired as many of us are talking about the opioid epidemic, we are much closer to the beginning of this catastrophe than we are at the end.
These forums are serving as an opportunity for Cameron, his team, and leaders in the fight against opioids to discuss what solutions can be put into place to help.
That's part of what we want with these forums, is for people to meet other folks that are working in this space, that we break down those silos, that we have more communication so that we can, again, fight this collaboratively, so that we can, again, end this affliction that has plagued our people for far too long.
Hoping to bring healing to the mountains and to strengthen their fight against fentanyl. In Whitley County, Alyssa Williams, WYMT Mountain News.
Attorney General Cameron says he hopes to host more of these forums across the Commonwealth for as long as it takes to help curb the issue. The University of the Cumberlands reached a multi-million-dollar settlement with the family of Grant Brace.
Now, Brace, you might remember, was a member of the men's wrestling team. He died hours after on-campus workouts back in August of 2020. The settlement includes payments of more than $14 million, the university's agreement to engage in a heat illness training project, and the promotion of the Brace family's work to raise awareness of heat-related injuries. Officials with the university said it will continue to ensure protocols in its athletics department align with NAIA standards and hopes the university's decision to settle the case will respect the Brace family's loss. The couple accused of performing sex acts in front of several people at the Grundy Double Quick on New Year's Eve were in court last week. Police say 38-year-old Matthew Fuller and 47-year-old Mildred Pacheco appeared in a video performing the sexual acts in front of several people, including minors. During the court appearance, Pacheco pleaded guilty to obscene sexual display in public, contributing delinquency to a minor, and assault and battery. She received a 1-year jail sentence with 6 months of that sentence suspended on the condition she complete 12 months of supervised probation for the assault charge. Fuller is facing felony charges of eluding police, obscene sexual display in public, and more. He's expected to be back in court in April.
London police pulled over 35-year-old Sean Smith on Sunday for traffic violations, but soon learned that he was wanted for human trafficking in Harlan. Officers say Smith had a cracked windshield and had bags and clothes in the back seat blocking the driver's view. After stopping Smith, the officers also learned the vehicle's title had been junked and the registration was canceled. Smith was arrested on a warrant for the human trafficking, commercial sex activity charge and was taken to the Laurel County Correctional Center.
Another big step today in the move to legalize sports betting in Kentucky.
The bill was heard and approved in a Senate committee. It now goes on to the full Senate.
But as WYMT's Phil Pendleton tells us, there are questions as if there is enough time and support to see it become law.
Sports wagering is seeing more support in Kentucky, and today it went before a Senate committee for the first time.
Because I think it's important that we know that there's over $1 billion bet illegally right now. And we know there's a significant amount of the marketplace that is just going across the state line.
The bill cleared the House where it's passed before, but the question marks have always been in the Senate. It garnered 9 yes votes in committee, and the chairman was the only one to vote no.
House Bill 551 is passed with favorable expression that same should pass. Congratulations to the bill sponsor.
Made law, the horse racing industry would regulate sports betting parlors at track-owned facilities, and you could even place bets on phones or other mobile devices. That's where a lot of the concern lies.
Turn potentially every iPhone, every internet-connected device into a mini casino.
Several of the committee members said that they wanted to vote for it to get it out of committee, but they also reserve the right to vote against it once it gets to the full Senate floor. Of concern, even among those voting yes, was the access kids might have.
I would hope that the industry will behave responsibly in that regard towards minors.
Question now is if enough lawmakers in the full Senate will push this through.
The 23 vote threshold required for a bill like this in a short session is a steep mountain to climb.
The longer session would require only 20 votes. Supporters believe if it doesn't pass this year, it certainly will next. In Frankfort, Phil Pendleton, WYMT Mountain News.
Of course, lots going on in Frankfort today, and we've just learned that Kentucky is a step closer to being a so-called Second Amendment sanctuary state. The Senate passed House Bill 153 this afternoon by a vote of 27-9. It would prohibit Kentucky from enforcing a federal ban or regulation on firearms. This now goes to the governor's desk. Not sure if the governor will sign that bill. But again, Kentucky a step closer to being a so-called Second Amendment sanctuary. Now, lawmakers will meet tomorrow and then break for a veto session. Their final 2 days are March 29th and 30th.
Well, coming up, showers work into the region as soon as